Here's a look at the new Black Series Deluxe Boba Fett. So here is the figure in the box. I want to start out by saying that while I am generally a fan of the new Black Series box design, I'm not too sure how I feel about the deluxe boxes. They're just the regular boxes but wider. I don't think the box design works as well for these deluxe figures, and I would like to see something a little more special for figures at this price point that are being marketed as deluxe. That being said, I do love the art that's on the side of the box. You can get a nice view of Boba Fett's throne in the background there, and if you look at the back of the box, you get another view of that artwork. The figure itself looks pretty good in the box. If there is one thing that I like about the deluxe style packaging, it's that you get to see all of the accessories laid out around the figure. Now, this figure does not have as many as I would like to see on a deluxe figure, but we'll get more into that later. I am always happy when they package a helmet separately from a character that has a removable helmet. If I can see that face sculpt in the box, I would love to. Now, sometimes this can lead to warping on the helmet, but that's nothing you can't fix by rinsing it under hot water for about 30 seconds, and on this figure, I didn't even have to do that. It came out of the box pretty good. So let's go ahead and get a look at this thing out of the box. Here's a look at this thing out of the box with all of the accessories put together, and I have to say it looks pretty good. Now, I want to address first probably the biggest downside of this figure, and that is that it is not what it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett. It's labeled that way on the box, but the lower half of this figure is not accurate. From the waist down, this figure has the look of Boba Fett from the end credit scene of The Mandalorian, not from the Book of Boba Fett. It's not the end of the world. I still like that costume design for Boba Fett, but it's not what it's supposed to be. And it does make me wonder if we're ever going to get an accurate Boba Fett from his own show. Putting that aside and just looking at what we have here, I do have to say the helmet sculpt looks pretty good. The rangefinder on the helmet is also posable, which is nice. That's not something we get on every Boba Fett, so I'm always happy to see it when it's there. Taking the helmet off to look at the face sculpt underneath, I am pretty impressed. It's a little easier for them to do good photoreal face sculpts in 6-inch than it is in 3.75. Still, that doesn't take away from the fact that this does look pretty good. Flipping the figure around, we can see that the jetpack can be inserted into the 3 holes on the back. I find on my figure that it is kind of loose. I have had it fall out while I'm trying to pose the figure around. That's not something I love to see, but it isn't the end of the world either. This figure comes with 2 different types of blasters, a blaster pistol that can be held in the holster on the side, and his EE3 rifle, which I think looks pretty good. It's got a nice paint job on it, the sculpt is pretty good, and it looks really good in the figure's hands. Speaking of how good the figure looks, I just want to take a moment to appreciate how many good angles and poses you can get on this thing. The paint job on the armor throughout the figure is pretty nice. I like the subtle weathering that they have on it, some scrapes every now and then. This armor is supposed to be way cleaner than what it looks like in the OT or in Mando, so it is accurate to that, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, I think the worst looking part of this figure is probably the legs. I don't think they look horrible, but I don't think they look great either. I really think this figure could have benefited from the use of soft goods. I'm not saying that the entire leg pieces had to be covered in soft goods, but at least a soft goods skirt or some integration would have made it look a lot better. The molded robes look okay, but it's really obvious that they're a molded plastic and not an actual soft material. Really quickly, I just wanted to get a look at this figure next to the Fennec Shand figure that we got in the last wave of the Black Series. These two are an awesome pair in the show, and they are an awesome pair of figures here. They look really good together. Okay, so my final thoughts on this figure, I think it's pretty good for what it is. It looks better than I thought it looked like from the promo images, although I'm not too happy with the legs on this figure being inaccurate. But the thing that bugs me and most other people about this figure is the fact that it's marketed as a deluxe figure at a deluxe price point. That means that you're going to be paying almost $10 more for this figure than you will for other Black Series figures. Are you getting $10 more in value here than you got in, say, that Fennec Shand figure? No, I really don't think you are, and I don't think anyone would say that you are either. I at least understood when the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett was a deluxe figure, they threw in enough extra accessories to make it understandable why they wanted to charge more, but on this figure, it doesn't feel like you're getting anything extra. Everything you get with it is something that you expect to get, and it isn't anything that's worth $10 more. So while I am happy about the figure, I'm not too happy about that deluxe labeling that they put on it. For another look at this figure, other figures, vehicles, and playsets from across the Star Wars lines, be sure to check out the Jedi Collector on Instagram. Link will be in the description.